Guys, my name is Patrick Frost. I'm coming at you from WHQ, and I put together a very challenging upper body workout that all you need is some space and your body. So we're gonna start, all of this is gonna be on the floor. We're gonna start with a bear hold and some crab holds. So I'm gonna walk you kind of through this here first. We're gonna place our wrists directly underneath our shoulders. Our knees are gonna be a little bit wider than hips, and you're gonna dig your toes to the floor and lift your knees up. So we're actually gonna be holding this for about 45 seconds here. And we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, and dig your toes to the floor, lift your knees up. So while you're here, I want you to think about having 2 screws in each palm and kind of drilling those palms into the floor to really activate that serratus anterior, that side muscle here attached to your ribs. You wanna find that tension here. Make sure that your shoulders are a little bit past your fingertips, your knees are off the floor, and you're finding tension in that trunk of yours. Brace that core like someone's about to kick you in the side and just hold. You guys get about 20 more seconds here. Now it's important to get this down because we're gonna be spending a lot of time in this position today. Keep that engaged lat, keep that tailbone tucked under slightly. You got 8 more seconds, guys. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're gonna go into a crab hold now. So you're gonna place your fingertips looking away from you. You want to create a distance between your heels to glutes, the same as your glutes to your palms. So from the side, you should look like a shape of an M. You're going to drill those heels to the floor, pressure through the palms, and lift your glutes up. We're going to pull your shoulder blades back and down, neck nice and neutral. Now this may feel easy right now, but when we go back to these moves, you guys are going to be doing some contralateral limb lifts, and I'll talk more about that in a second. You guys are here in 3, 2, 1, lift up, chest nice and proud. So don't let those shoulders round forward. Keep those shoulder blades pulled back. You got tension through those heels, those ribs are down nice and neutral, and abs are braced. So again, these movements are really important to get down now before we start adding more movements through these patterns. So just making sure that your shoulders are not slumping, you're not relaxing, your shoulders are away from those ears, shoulders are pulled back. Fingertips are gonna be facing away from your body. You guys are halfway there. You should be really feeling this now in your tricep. So really engage that tricep here. Keep those shoulders back and down. You guys got about 10 more seconds. Stay with me. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna go back to the bear hold. Now this is where things get challenging. So I'm gonna show you what I want you to try to work towards, but then I'm also gonna give you some modifications. So we're gonna go back to the bear position, so same setup, wrists under shoulders, knees a little bit wider than hips. You're gonna dig your toes to the floor, lift your knees up 2 inches. When we're here, we're gonna raise opposite limbs for about 2 to 3 seconds. The goal is to make sure you're not rotating, right? We wanna make it look like those limbs never left the floor. You're here in 3, 2, 1, dig toes to the floor, lift. Raise opposite limbs. You're not coming up crazy high. They're coming up 2 inches at most, and you're holding for 2 to 3 seconds. If this is too difficult for you, you can just give me the hands. Good. But when more advanced, I want the backside as well lifting. So you have to really control that trunk because we're trying not to, again, rotate. You guys got about 15 more seconds here. You guys got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you're gonna do the same exact setup for your crab position. So fingertips facing away, again, shape of an M from the side, shoulder blades pulled back. You guys are lifting in 3, 2, and 1, hold. So contralateral limb lifts, same exact setup. Opposite limbs raise. Now this one is going to be a little bit more difficult to not pivot from side to side. But the goal here is to make sure we don't lose the shoulder, right? So the shoulders still stay away from those ears and those triceps are still working. We just don't want to see crazy rotation, right? So a little pivot is fine, but try to stay as still as possible. You guys got 3, 2, and 1. All right, so warm-up is done. We're now gonna go through this circuit. We're gonna work 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. Now I've got 6 exercises, and all of this is gonna be floor-based. So by the time you finish this, your triceps, your shoulders, they're gonna be kaput. All right, so we're gonna start with an extended plank. So we're gonna go to that high plank position. You're gonna tuck your tailbone under to make sure those abs are on. We're gonna walk your feet back, hold that extended position for a brief 1 second pause. Shoulders come back over those wrists, and we come up into a nice little up dog. All right, so 45 seconds here in 3, 2, 1. Slight tuck of that tailbone to protect that back. My more beginners, I want you working to your range of motion. My more advanced, see how close your nose can get to the floor without arching your back or piking your butt in the air. And enjoy that up dog. That up dog is a nice little anterior release. So we got those lats working, that serratus anterior, those triceps are still working. Those abs are definitely working. Keep this up. All right, last one, guys. Shoulders are from ears. And shake it out. All right, so again, think about it. We're gonna be on all fours or a version of all fours a lot. So in these 15-second breaks, don't be afraid to release any tension in those wrists. Second move out of the circuit, we're gonna start with a push-up, and we're gonna come up alternating row. So we're working on scapula position as well as some shoulder stability. You're here in 3, 2, 1, all the way down, come up, row, row. And now think about that row being 2 pools. There's obviously the elbow coming up, but at the top, pretend as if you could wrap your elbow around your spine. And that movement should be coming from that scapula. So to modify, if you need to, simply drop to your knees, give me the same movement. And again, we're kind of going back to that anti-rotation. We're trying to stay as still as possible when we're lifting those arms up. You guys got about 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. 15-second break. All right, guys, so good news. Now we're gonna be leaving our wrists alone for a second. We're gonna come down onto our stomach. So we're gonna go into Y's to W's. I actually want you to dig your toes to the floor and push your heels back slightly and just engage your glutes to make sure you're protecting that back, because you are gonna be giving me a slight extension in that thoracic spine. I want your eyes to stay nice and neutral to the floor. You're gonna go thumbs up to the ceiling. You're gonna squeeze elbows by lats. You're gonna come back to that reach, and you're gonna relax. So the glutes are working the whole time. You're here in 3, 2, 1, thumbs up, elbows pull, go back to that Y, and relax arms. Thumbs up, elbows pull, back to that Y, hands release. You can also alternate one arm at a time to really make sure you're getting that shoulder extension. So shoulders tend to be very temperamental, so listen to your own personal range of motion. Just try not to get your neck involved at all. So our pelvis is staying glued to the floor, our abs are on, our glutes are working. You guys got about 15 more seconds. You guys got 3, 2, and 1. Coming out of this, we're gonna shake it out. You guys are gonna be going into that bear hold with some side kicks. So this is when it becomes important to really utilize that warm up. So now we're gonna go back to that bear position. Dig your toes rather to the floor, lift your knees up. When we kick through, we wanna plant that heel as we extend the opposite leg. And you wanna pull that arm back as if you're rowing, kind of like a bow and arrow. When we come back to that position, you're back to your toes. So we do the same thing on the opposite side. We're gonna go to work in 3, 2, and 1. Make sure that heel is completely flat, so you're bracing from your left palm and your right heel, extending through that left leg and pulling that right arm across that body. Now get to know this move now, because later on in the program, we're gonna be going through a flow, and we're gonna be moving a little bit quicker through these movements. You guys got about 15 seconds left. Making sure that that base arm is staying locked and engaged. We don't have a soft bend in that elbow. You guys got 3, 2, last one, and break. Shake it out. All right, so next one we're gonna be doing crab reaches. So we're gonna come back to that crab position. Again, making that shape of an M. So now we're gonna draw our hips up. You're going to pull that right arm across that body, or reach that right arm across that body. Eyes are gonna follow the motion. You're gonna come back, elbows by ribs, and switch. So we're here in 3, 2, and 1. Lift glutes, shoulders away from ears, triceps engage on that planted arm. You're gonna drive through with that hip and reach to that opposite side. Now, if you notice earlier on, we did an up dog. So we're also focusing a lot today on opening up that anterior chain. So a lot of these movements should feel good, especially for those that maybe lived or live more in a sedentary. If you sit at home a lot on that couch or in that office and you're slouching over, this is here to help and open up that front side. You guys got 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down. So 15 seconds, shake out those wrists. This is a funky one. We're gonna be going into a panther crawl. So we're gonna take 4 steps forward and 4 steps back. So it's gonna be similar to what people call like a bear crawl, but a panther, I want a soft bend in your elbow when you land to help engage that tricep. So same position, bear position. Dig your toes to the floor. You're gonna go opposite limbs. When you land, soft bend in elbows, drive through. Drive through. All right, so we're gonna work 45 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Make sure you're taking small controlled steps. You don't wanna ever raise your butt in the air, and we don't wanna ever let our knees meet our elbows. So small controlled steps. 4 steps forward, 4 steps back. The pressure is through the meat of that palm, so that nice little fatty piece here, that's where we're applying a lot of our weight. You guys are here for about another 15 seconds. Small steps, guys. You guys got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Doing that one more time through. So, back to that first position. We're starting back to the extended plank into the up dog. So shake out those wrists. If you guys want to add more of a hold in that extended position, that's going to be where you're working the most. Just make sure you're working to your own range of motion. We don't want to ever lose that posterior tuck. So we're starting in 3, 2, tuck the tailbone under, glutes are on, walk yourself out. Hold for those 1 to 2 seconds. Shoulders back over wrist. Then we drop our pelvis, shoulder blades back. Come back to that engaged trunk, then walk yourself out. So think of these movements as 2 separate positions. And again, I can't stress this enough. As soon as you start feeling it in your lower back, you've gone too far. You really want to make sure that this is only, all that work and all that tension is staying in that trunk. You guys got about 3, 2, and 1. Shake out those wrists. Next up, we got those push-ups to that row. And again, when you're thinking about that row, I want you to pull that elbow almost around that spine. All right, so we're starting in 3, 2, 1. That push-up and that row. Row. You want to stay as still as possible through that spine. Drop to your knees if you need to. You guys got about 20 more seconds left. If the push-up is too much, you can even just stay up the whole time and alternate that row. You guys got 10 more seconds. You guys got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. All right, get to lay on that stomach now. Y's to W's. So remember, you want to dig your toes to the floor, push your heels back to engage those glutes. We're going to keep a slight extension in our upper body, but I want you to keep your eyes focused on the floor to keep that neck nice and neutral. So we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Again, this is only happening through those shoulders. So we're going to lift thumbs up to ceiling, squeeze those elbows back by your lats, shoulder blades back and down, reach back to Y, follow hands to the floor. Now remember, shoulders tend to move independently from each other. So if you want to even slow it down and focus on one side at a time to kind of see or highlight, maybe you have more extension on one side, less on the other. This is a great way to ensure also that your glutes are staying engaged to protect that lower back. You guys get about 15 more seconds here. Again, protect that back. If you're feeling anything in that lower back, start to turn those glutes on. You got 3, 2, and 1. Release. All right, so next up, we're going back to that bear position, those side kick throughs. So really important that we're engaging those triceps and those lats. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Extend through. Pulling those shoulders, pulling that elbow back, those shoulders back. Staying strong in that planted hand and extending that opposite leg through. And again, if you need to slow this down or make this a little bit easier, focus on your speed. But we want to really make sure that that leg kicking through is staying off the floor. You guys got this in 15 seconds. We got 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going to open up that chest now. So right into our crab position. Fingertips are going to be facing behind us. That M position, very important. We go in 3, 2, 1. Lift glutes up. Gauge those triceps, shoulders away from ear. You're going to plant that left arm strong, drive through those planted heels, and reach across that body with that opposite hand. Elbow comes tight by the ribs. Place hand to floor. Repeat opposite side. Use that exhale. Good. Keep that full foot on the floor through that extension of that hip. Eyes following the hand that's reaching across the body. You guys got about 3 more. Last one. Bring yourself back. So again, we're going to go back into that bear position. This is that panther crawl. Really ensuring that that tension is kind of derived from that tricep. So 4 steps forward, 4 steps back. We go in 4, 3, 2. Knees off the floor. Opposite limbs working together. Soft bend in those elbows when you land. Really making sure you're taking small, controlled steps. Keeping this up, just make sure that full palm, that meaty part of that palm, is what's pressing through that floor. Never letting those glutes go in the air. You got even weight through your palms and your toes. You guys got 15 seconds left. You guys got 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. All right, so now circuit is over. We're going to now practice a flow. It's going to go 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. You're going to start with a really regressed version of what we're going to end up doing. So I'm going to just sort of teach you how to transition between a bear to a crab. So we're going to go back to that bear position that we know. So going back to the warm-up when we were practicing our contralateral limb lifts. So that right hand and left leg, if we want to turn to the right, we're going to lift our right hand and left leg. We're going to pivot through and place that hand around behind us, shoulders away from ears. To come back to that position, you're going to bring that right arm and left leg back. So to turn to our left, we're going to lift left arm and right leg to crab, left arm, right leg back. So we're just going to flow 40 seconds, kind of go at your own pace. My more advanced, obviously a little bit quicker through. My more beginners, slow it down a little bit. So 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Now I know this can be a little confusing, so just make sure whatever limbs you're lifting to open yourself up to that crab, those are the same limbs that you're going to bring back through. You guys got about 15 seconds left. You got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. All right. So now we're going to do the same thing, but now we're going to add a reach with our crab. So same exact idea, except when you land in that crab position, you're now going to go right into that same arm reach. So we're going to start in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant, drive, come back to that bear. Plant, reach, come back to that bear. About halfway there, guys. Keep it up. Work at your own pace. You guys got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. All right, so the last 3, I want you to this is the most progress that we're going to get. We're going to add a side kick, go back to bear position, then open up to the opposite side kick, then we're going to go crab reach, crab reach. So we're going to start in 4, 3, 2, and 1. So that same side kick we know, opposite side kick, go to that crab, reach, crab, reach. Now if this is way too much for you, regress it back to that second set. But this is as complicated as we're going to get for these last few sets. Ten more seconds, guys. You guys got 3, 2, 1, shake it out. So I got about 3 full sets, and that's 40 seconds. So count how many times you're going through as well. Try to stay consistent for the last 2. 15 seconds. I know those wrists are feeling it, so don't be afraid to shake it out. You guys got about 8 more seconds, and then we're cooling down. You guys are taking off in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tss. Tss. Now I picked it up a little bit myself, so if you're able to as well, don't be afraid to go for those reps. You guys got 10 more seconds. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, guys, good news. You got 1 more set. And then I'm going to do a nice little stretch for your wrist because I know you need it. So we got 15 seconds, breathe. This is a very sneaky flow, by the way. You may not necessarily feel your triceps or shoulders just yet, but trust me, tomorrow you will. You guys go in 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it up. Last 10 seconds. Last 1. You did it. That's it. All right, so I know those wrists are burning right now. So we're doing one of my favorite little funky stretches here. I'm actually going to do 2 different things for you that might be a little new. So we're going to first kind of gently, you don't want to put a lot of weight here. So a lot of my weight is on my knees right now. You're going to gently bring your wrists underneath your shoulders, laying on the back part of your palms. You're gonna squeeze and make a fist and curl those knuckles off the floor. Straight arms, hold for 4, 3, there's no weight here really. 2, 1, and release. And I like to kind of pivot side to side here. Just getting a bit of flexion in those wrists, getting it out of extension. We're gonna do that again. Again, very minimal weight. You're gonna curl those knuckles off, straight arms, hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1, release. And side to side. We're gonna do this one more time. Last one, arms straight, curl those knuckles off the floor, straight arms, hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. We're gonna do these little funky wrist drills here. So you're gonna go in the back of your right palm. We're gonna try to keep that palm connected and wrist connected to the floor the whole time. So I want you to get in whatever position your body needs to maintain that contact of that wrist. We're gonna go one circle here for about 10 seconds. So notice I'm getting my whole body involved. You guys got 3, 2, reverse that circle. You guys got 5, 4, 3, 2, and switch. Back of palm. Pick whatever way you want to start. Remember, the objective is to keep your wrists in contact to the floor the whole time. Get in whatever position your body needs to achieve this. You guys got 3, 2, and reverse. It's kind of like a funky, cool way just to get some movement in that wrist. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and shake it out. And that's it. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys really enjoyed this workout. It's a different challenge for most of us, I know, to kind of focus on our upper body with just body weight. But I promise you, come back, do this workout again. You'll find new challenging ways to kind of take this up a notch. And I'll see you guys next time.